I'll have that for you throughout the night tonight. We are going to look at the NFL games and college football games tomorrow. But it is a 4th and Friday here on the night show on 98.5 The Sports Hub. We got Skaz here as well. And a big football game this weekend. I think it's becoming bigger by the day. And I really want to hype this one now. Going into the week, I felt that the Patriots would take a step back after their win in Cincinnati. I faded the Patriots week 1. I think almost everyone who picks games won against the Patriots. What do we know, right? I still say it was a little bit more about the Bengals, but the Patriots looked way better than anything we saw in the preseason, right? They had good form when it came to their offensive line, only a couple of penalties. I mean, they started the season off with a penalty on special teams, which is laughable, but how good was the special teams in week 1? It was well advanced of anything we've seen from years before. The line looked atrocious, but it was pretty good with Jacoby Brissett back there. And they ran the football very well, which is something Gerard Mayo doubled down on again today, but also said wouldn't mind passing the ball a little bit more. We'll get into that as well, and we'll look into the opponent that is the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I look at things through a betting perspective often. You know, who's going to win this weekend? How are things going to, work out? I look at the line. The Patriots were 2.5-point underdogs heading into the game this week against Seattle. After the Patriots' upset win and the Seahawks' 26-20 win with 2 safeties over Denver and a rookie quarterback, the line has now moved to 3.5 points. So a full point has moved the game into Seattle's favor. Well, what do we learn today about Seattle? I'll tell you that coming up in a minute here. But, of course, you can join the show at 617-779-0985. We are on YouTube tonight if you want to hang out with us. And it's real easy. If you want to watch us on your home, you just grab your little remote, you hit the speaker, 98.5 The Sports Hub YouTube. Boom. Goes right on your television. You can follow it on your phone, iPad, however you want to watch it. And you can join the chat if you'd like. So, again, the phone number is 617-779-0985. We got some interesting news today regarding the injury report. The Patriots will be without City So, but they could be without Kyle Duggar and some other questionable players. The Patriots worked out a bunch of defensive backs today, where I think that they can be a little bit weak. I think when it comes to Christian Gonzalez, Jonathan Jones, and Marcus Jones, what do they have after that? Some guy named Marco Wilson who got a penalty last week. When I look at Seattle, I think they're loaded at wide receiver. Whether it's DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Laviska Shenault, Jake Bobo, you name it. That's what I think the Seahawks are going to do this week. Why? Because the injury report came out today, and Kenneth Walker and George Fant, their right tackle, doubtful for Sunday. Now with the Patriots, Kyle Duggar's a big one. Layden Robinson's on there with a shoulder. Dietrich Wise as well. JaMychal Hasty. Forget about those guys. Kenneth Walker being out is huge. Huge for Seattle. Seattle was terrible in the first half against Denver last week because they were trying to throw the football too much. They ended up leaning on their running game after their 2 big safeties they had. And Kenneth Walker had a hell of a second half. He's doubtful for Sunday. So does that change their approach this week? You know, I think the Patriots sometimes like it when teams try to run on them because they've been really stout. Let's be honest. The Patriots have been really stout when it comes to stopping the run. I think they're a little short at corner. I think they get tested this week. But I just wanted to bring something up here regarding the Patriots over the next couple of weeks if you're a fan and if you're a Patriot. You got week 1, Cincinnati Bengals without T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, who didn't work out all preseason long. Now you're going to get the Seahawks without Kenneth Walker and their starting right tackle? You're going to get the Jets on a short week. Who knows what's going to happen to them on a short week? Who knows what happens with Christian McCaffrey, who's out again this week, and the Patriots see him in week 4. And another one here. They could potentially miss Tua Tagovailoa. Who knows his status, who's out indefinitely at the moment for the Miami Dolphins. Things are turning up, Patriots. Big week 1 win. Surprised everyone. Now they're 3.5-point underdogs at home in the home opener where they welcome the 2014 championship team with a new regime and a new start. Things are turning up Patriots right now. Without Kenneth Walker, T. Higgins, Walker, who knows what happens with the Jets? Christian McCaffrey, Tua Tagovailoa. Oh, things are turning up Patriots. No doubt about it. And again, they're being disrespected, or at least they feel they are. The Patriots might be better than I thought they were. They do have a chance to go 2-0 this weekend. They do have a chance, I think, to at least compete with the Jets. There's a real... I have shifted my thoughts on the New England Patriots. Again, I bet them to have the fewest amount of wins in the NFL. But seeing some of these other teams, like Carolina and the Giants, etc., now maybe potentially Green Bay without, Jordan Love, or Tua with the Dolphins. I mean, these injuries are, we're 1 game into week 2, and we're already looking at injuries with quarterbacks around the NFL. And the Patriots, by the way, will do May Watch. Today, it's reported that the backup quarterback's getting 30% of the reps in Drake May. The Patriots are working on getting May up to speed and potentially start games. Things are turning up Patriots right now with the Seahawks going West Coast to East Coast off a win. Rookie coach in his first road game against a very similar coach and opponent with a good running game. The Pats absolutely have a chance this weekend, but do they stick to the running game or do they open things up with the pass rush? Can they get to Geno Smith, who in the last 3 years is in the top 5 in sacks in the NFL? He's also top 7 in touchdowns. Do they air it out a bit without their star running back? And what do the Patriots do? Do they start looking a little bit more play action? If that's the case, can they keep Jacoby Brissett upright? We'll start there tonight at 617-779-0985. We're going to talk to Doug Kyed from the Boston Herald tonight as well. We got In or Out 850, Murray's Musings 950, and Joe Me the Money 1035 tonight. We'll get Skaz's thoughts as well as we're here until 11 o'clock. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way.
women today.
On the Sports Hub.
Got to control the line of scrimmage on the ball. I think I remember hearing if you had something similar this week, anything we should be looking out for that you need to do to win.
Yeah, for me, it's, we have to see how they want to play us. And I would say we have a pretty good game plan either way they want to play us in any phase of the game. We will always look to control the line of scrimmage. We will always look to control the line of scrimmage. We'll always look for ways to control a game. We've all been a part of games where even when we were down, we felt like we really had control of the game. And then when you're up and you feel like you have control of the game, then that's great. So, not to look in the past, there was a time in that Cincy game, we felt like we had a pretty good control of the game overall. And then there was a point in the third quarter where it's like, all right, let's make sure let's get back to what we did the first half, and then regain control. So we'll always look to run the ball, and I feel pretty confident about passing the ball as well. Thanks, guys.
Oh, Patriots head coach Gerard Mayo. We're going to run the ball down your throat, but we'll pass it too. So you know what I did? I looked into the passing numbers for Jacoby Brissett over his starts, which we'll get into in a minute here. With 617-779-0985. That's the phone number. We get Skaz here as well, where everyone's gone. It's just us. We're the only people here. And it's Friday night, so hang out with us. Joe, say what's up to the cleaner. Yes. I was telling him that earlier. I go, hey, man, you might know you're going to be on the TV if you want to be in here. So I'll say what's up to the I actually don't know his name. I should know his name. It's usually Luis, but he's not here. Start of the show tonight with the injury news that's out there. Kenneth Walker doubtful for Sunday. I think DK Metcalf's the best player on the Seahawks, but their workhorse, no doubt about it, is Kenneth Walker. Guy rushed for 1,000 yards his rookie year, 900 last year. Pretty good player, and it's someone that Geno Smith can lean on. Now, they do have a backup in Charbonnet who played at UCLA, very good. So now he's more of a change of pace back than a home run hitter through the tackles. But just to set it up one more time, you had the Bengals without T. Higgins. You're going to get the Seahawks without Kenneth Walker. Who knows who the Jets are going to miss on Thursday night, excuse me. And then the 49ers are already dealing with Christian McCaffrey issues. And Tua Tagovailoa could miss time if he happens to go on injured reserve. The Patriots, literally, this is a very navigatable. Is that a word? Navigatable? Sounds good, right? They might be able to navigate the first 4 or 5 weeks of the year because of injuries on the other side. That's an advantage for them. So I just wanted to throw that into existence. Things are turning up. New England Patriots, they're 1-0. No one expected it. They can certainly go 2-0. Have the short week, and it's the Jets, baby. You know the Jets will Jets. Somehow, some way. And we're all looking ahead to that 49ers game. Well, maybe Christian McCaffrey's not playing. Things are turning up, Patriots. And you know who owns the Patriots? Tua Tagovailoa. We'll start there at 617-779-0985. Do the Patriots want to stick to the run game? It's what they're good at. It's what their linemen are good at. They struggle to pass protect. So I wanted to look up Jacoby Brissett's record based on pass attempts. In 30 games in his career, 30 games with fewer than 35 attempts, he's 15-15 with 23 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. So 35 attempts or less. In 19 games with 35 or more attempts, he's 4-15. 25 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. In 8 games between 19 and 24 attempts, he's 6-2 with 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's had 13 games with 25 to 29 attempts. He's 5-8 with 8 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. He's had 9 games between 30 and 34 attempts, 4-5. He's had 12 games where he's thrown between 35 and 40 attempts, 3-9. And he's had 7 games in his career where he's thrown the ball over 40 times. He's 1-6. So, Gerard Mayo, when you laugh about throwing the football, you don't want this guy throwing 40 times because he's 1-6. You don't want him throwing 30 to 50, 35 to 40 times because he's 3-9. You don't want him throwing 30 times or more because he's 4-5. And you really don't want him to throw over 25 passes. You know why? Because in 13 games, he's 5-8. What he's good at is 19 to 24. 19 to 24. That's the sweet spot. You don't want Brissett throwing more than 25 passes. Because when he does, he's 6-2 in 8 games with 6 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So in games with fewer than 35 attempts, he's had 30 of them, 15-15. With more than 35 attempts, 19 times, he's 4-15. Do you get it? You don't want him throwing the ball a lot. Those are the numbers. If you like numbers, there they are. They're facts. They're not takes from me. They're facts. So when Gerard Mayo says we want to run the ball, but we'll throw it a bunch too. No, you don't. No, you don't. No. No. So anyways, guys, those are my numbers. How do you feel about those numbers, guys? And how do you feel about the Patriots coming up with injury to T. Higgins, McCaffrey, maybe Tua? Who knows with the Jets? Things are turning up, Patriots, guys. And those numbers with Brissett, 19 to 24 on Monday. I'm going back to these numbers. You remember that?
Yeah, this feels like we're back in the Belichick days where things just keep breaking for the Patriots.
I'm sorry, what days?
The Belichick days.
Oh, do you think they'll mention that this weekend?
I mean, it was his team that won the Super Bowl. I'd hope so.
Oh, it was?
I mean, they're going to be there.
Oh, okay.
Will he be there?
Has anyone asked that question this week on this?
I mean, the 14 team's going to be there to celebrate the championship, right?
Did it take until Friday night at 7:27 for someone on this station to ask if Bill Belichick would be there?
I've not been listening all day,
Me
so
either.
I can't comment on that. But yeah, that's one of my first thoughts is will he be there? You would expect him to be, right? I kind of expect him, unless he's working. I guess one of his 19 other jobs now that he's the new Ryan Seacrest of the NFL. So maybe not. But Bellicrest. So yeah, this is a decent spot for the Patriots. I still think Geno Smith is good enough. DK Metcalf is more than good enough. Their run defense in week 1 was good against the running backs. It was not great against Bo Nix, so that could be something to kind of look at. It could Brissett hurt them a little bit more than he did the Bengals. I know he had a couple runs against the Bengals, but I think you're going to see a lot of loaded boxes on Sunday afternoon for both sides. So all week I've felt really good about this, and now you get the injury news. Kenneth Walker's probably not going to play, doubtful. Their line's banged up. So yeah, I think we're going to learn a lot about the Patriots this week. Can they capitalize off week 1? Can they keep the momentum going? I think so, but DK Metcalf definitely gives me some pause. But once again, Christian Gonzalez did a great job on Jamar Chase week 1. Well, no days off for Christian Gonzalez. He's getting DK Metcalf probably. He's going to get Garrett Wilson in a couple days.
You'd probably put Jonathan Jones on JSN, right?
Unless they want to double Metcalf, and then you put Gonzalez on JSN and double Metcalf.
Yeah, and then you got Tyler Lockett running around with Marcus Jones. This is where I think the fourth corner could hurt this week, especially if Duggar's hurt. My whole point to all of this is, everybody, I think the Seahawks win the game. But this news about Kenneth Walker and on their third right tackle and banged up, I think the Patriots have a shot. I don't know if I wouldn't bet on it. But, man, looking ahead here, the Patriots have a legitimate shot this weekend. 617-779-0985. That's the phone number if you want to jump aboard. Leno's at the shop. What's up, Leno?
What's up, Joe? So first of all, I'd like to say that I am huge into this let Drake bake thing. We got to let him sit or whatever. I'm also very big businessman. What are your thoughts on selling on Jacoby Brissett with all of these quarterback issues? Oakland, Miami, the other one went out. Packers, Jordan Love. So is there any value for him for potentially a veteran wide receiver, or that's what I'd probably go for.
Well, here's what I would say. Does a team want to take on the remaining of the $8 million?
Well, it depends on how well the team is built for themselves. Either way,
I would say this, Leno. I don't think it's Jacoby Brissett that the Patriots would move.
No. Who do you think would be moved then?
Well, not on the Patriots.
I just see that if we get this schedule kind of a toss up right now, kind of like a soft serve, like why not try to put somebody in? Jacoby Brissett ran some of his most productive plays for him running around.
Just so you know, he's the Patriots quarterback. Why would the Patriots trade their quarterback?
Well, because you got somebody in the background who can do potentially just as well.
They have a plan for him because he's not ready.
Well, again, with the let Drake bake, but at the same time, it's like, do
you want to let Drake bake or do you want to trade Jacoby Brissett? I
don't know. Being a businessman, I'd say sell off Jacoby and let him start. I'd say being a businessman, if you can get any value for Jacoby Brissett right now,
Leno, I need an answer. Do you want to let Drake bake or do you want to trade Brissett?
I'd let him bake underneath someone who actually deserves to be baked under.
Wait. Jacoby Brissett didn't prove anything to you in week 1?
No, come on. He threw the ball how many times? It wasn't that great.
No.
It wasn't
Did you just hear my numbers on him throwing the ball? It's good when he doesn't throw the ball. It's good.
Yeah, but that's what but you can't be a one-dimensional team, man.
Yeah,
you got to be able to throw the ball.
What happens when the other team doesn't have their running back? You don't have to.
Well, that's a different story. But that's not what's going to happen.
No, the story is this weekend is a game. There's a game.
No, I'm not talking about this weekend. I'm talking about the whole thing,
When you're getting ready for your flag football game this weekend, right? Don't you care about the opponent that day?
100%, but at the same time, I'm still looking for the future.
You want one guy to not play and then trade the other guy, so who plays?
Drake May plays, apparently, and let him go. Forget it at that point. It's more of a business standard than it is playing this year standard.
Speaking of business, what do you get for ice cream tonight? What's the flavor?
We did pumpkin honey pumpkin crunch. That was delicious.
Okay, that sounds good. I hung up, Skess.
Sounds a lot better than the call did. I'll say that.
I will tell you this: the ice cream, way better than the take. No, like the ice cream's like a 9-10. 9-10, that's good, right? 9-10. You know how we go 50-50 yes? The take, 50-50 no. The ice cream, though, better than 50-50.
Can you imagine Jacoby Brissett trying to run a Mike McDaniel offense? No shot.
How do you let Drake bake if you want to trade Brissett? Would anyone... Let's play the games, guys. Who wants to
I don't want to play the game, Joe.
Okay.
No one wants to trade for Jacoby Brissett.
Play the game. No game.
I just don't. The Vikings, Darnold is better than Jacoby Brissett. Would you agree with that? Yeah, he's more upside.
I didn't say it. I'm shaking my head.
He is more upside than Jacoby Brissett.
Sam Darnold is probably a more gifted athlete. Yes.
He's younger.
Threw the ball pretty strong. I feel. You ever noticed all these guys? Was it maybe Zach Wilson? I don't know. We'll find out what happens with him. But everyone who goes to the Jets really sucks, and then they leave and go somewhere else, and they do okay. Like we'll find out with Zach Wilson because he could be out of the league. Who knows? But just guys who sucked with the Jets are all starting this weekend. Fair to say, right?
Well, Wilson's not starting.
No, I'm just saying he's the outlier right now. But everybody else. All right, there's the numbers. The numbers tell you he doesn't need to throw the ball. But it is Seahawks and Patriots. and we'll revisit the last 3 meetings between the teams. And there's a common theme, a very common theme regarding the last 3 games. We'll do that on the other side. I'm Joe Murray. Let's take a look at the Sports Hub headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Patriots getting ready for their game this Sunday with the Seattle Seahawks, and the injury report is out. City So.
on the Sports Hub.
Seattle huddling up, down 4, but on the verge of the lead. Wilson with 33 seconds and counting. Waiting on the snap. Lynch to his left, Baldwin to the left as well. Stacked receivers, 2 to the right. Russell Wilson extends the hands. He has it. Wilson, quick throw. And it's intercepted. Intercepted by Malcolm Butler. Butler has it at the 1. Malcolm Butler stepped in front of the throw. No way. And the Patriots have possession with 20 seconds to go in Super Bowl 49 with a 4-point lead over the Seahawks.
It's got to be one of the dumbest calls offensively in Super Bowl history. You are on the 1-yard line, and you have number 24, and you drop back pass. Are you kidding me?
Remember that game, everybody? Heard right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub, 2024 Super Bowl. I got to tell you, Zoe was outstanding on that call. If you really listen to it, did you hear Bob? Listen, I'm sorry to put you through this, guys, but listen to Sosi at the beginning. Listen to how defeated he is.
Seattle huddling up, down 4, but on the verge of the lead.
Huddling up.
I mean, that's how we all felt, right? That's how I felt.
What was that? It was that cursed catch.
I was, defeated. That's putting it mildly.
Yeah. And then when Hightower stopped them, you were like, geez, they're doomed.
Yeah, it was just prolonging the inevitable, it felt like.
Killing the clock, like. But there's a common theme to all the games when it comes to Seattle and the Patriots. That's one. That was a big one, right? Probably I do think, though, to this day, it might have still been one of the worst calls in Super Bowl history. Still, to this day. That will live in infamy. That's what broke the ice for the Patriots, too, to win a couple more. 3 more, right? So a common theme. That one was 2014. Where do you want to go here, Skaz? You want to go do you want to go Tom Brady era, or do you want to go Cam Newton era? Which way we want to go? Because I like to listen to the broadcasters and their emotions before, because we already got Bob, we got Zoe. So I'm just kind of curious. Why don't we hear another one? Let's see which one it is.
All right, Patriots, 4th down and 17 from their own 13. Snap to Brady. Here comes the jailbreak. He looks upfield. He looks, he fires to the right. It is caught short of the first down, and that's going to do it. Catch by Welker, and that's enough for the Seattle Seahawks to come away with their 4th win of the season, and the Patriots to fall to 3-3.
There was more there, right? Because he was very upset. Gil Santos not happy with the way that thing ended.
2nd down coming for Seattle. They'll take the knee here and walk out of here with a victory by 1 point. So the Patriots will fall to 3-3 by a total of 4 points. Unbelievable.
That's an embarrassing loss right there.
Well, unbelievable in one way, believable in another, because I kept telling you guys this does not look good because they just didn't put them away when they had the chance to put them away.
Hear a little bit of emotion there, everybody? Common theme, right? Final plays of the game comes down to one final play. Well, this is the one that got me. This was 2020, week 2. Cam Newton was the quarterback. He threw for 397 yards, 179 of them to to Julian Edelman. My bad. Because Welker caught that last play at the sticks, if you remember. But just think about this. If the Patriots were on the goal line on a 4th down and Tom Brady was the quarterback, what would they do? This is what the Cam Newton Patriots did.
Come on, O-line.
3 seconds to go. Barring penalty, the final play of the night. 1st and goal to go. Newton has Izzo to his right in the backfield. Johnson behind him. Newton from the pistol. 2 tight ends left, 2 to the right. Johnson shifts to his left hip. Snaps to Newton. He's going to run it left. He's hit behind the line, and he somersaults to the 2. The Seahawks celebrate as they stop Newton for a loss on the run. And Seattle will win it over the Patriots 35-30.
Man, does that stink.
What happened there was they tried the quarterback sneak counter, which would indicate the guard pull and then the right guard pull, but the right guard was Michael Nwenu, who was a rookie at the time. Why did they run that play on the goal line? You have a 6'5", 240-pound man who could sneak it in, but that was the play. The common theme here is, everybody, every matchup that the Patriots and Seahawks have had has come down to the final play. Every one of them. What makes it different this weekend? 2 rookie coaches. One of them, the youngest in the league. Both former linebackers coaches, now head coaches. With running games, good defenses, quarterbacks who are not the future of that team. Both replacing Hall of Fame coaches, Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick. The teams are super similar. Every matchup comes down to the final possession. Why not the Patriots this weekend? Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. We got Mac in Boston. Hey, Mac.
Hey, what's going on, Joe?
Hey, bud.
So, I find it kind of funny because, thinking back, in January 2024, when the Patriots, fired Belichick, that was kind of like their choice as a franchise to really live and, kind of gain a soul, separate themselves from the monotony of the Belichick years. But now I feel like the team really has to find, the answer of what their identity is going to be. I think this week against the Seahawks, it's going to be that defense, which looked really good against Cincy. I think they're really going to, get an identity for themselves. They've been so good, man, against Cincy. I was calling them the Great Seal, man. They couldn't break through the goal line at all. So I think I'm really excited to see them establish their identity this weekend. It's going to be big, Joe, big time.
All right. I like it. I think the Patriots, at least in week 1, established their identity. Wow. Do the Patriots have the way everything's set up with the injuries and the way that they want to play? Maybe they can establish their identity and develop Drake May at the same time. 30% of the reps? I'll save that for May Watch, which is now just a daily thing here on the show. It's just every night we're going to give you the May Watch because he's waiting, and he'll be there, and he'll be ready. You know it. 617-779-0985. We're here until 11 o'clock tonight. We got Skaz here as well. We will go around the NFL coming up in just a little bit. And I wanted to just talk about last night's football game in regards to the AFC East and the future at quarterback for the Miami Dolphins and looking at the Buffalo Bills. We'll do all that coming up next. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
right, back here 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. I wanted to react to the game last night between the Bills and Dolphins. Bills won 31-10. James Cook, a huge night. 11 rushes, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns, had another 17-yard catch. They are now 9-1 in their last 10 versus the Miami Dolphins. So the Bills own Miami. But what happened last night, Tua Tagovailoa had 3 interceptions, and as you saw, left the game with a concussion. And we all know about the past of Tua. And there's a couple of other things. I think Tua Tagovailoa is a great football player. Now, quarterback, whatever. No, say what you want about a quarterback. I think he's a good football player. I think he can run. I think he throws the ball well. I think he can see the field well. Has a great arm, decent accuracy. And I think that he's a product of the Miami Dolphins. Like, they built that team for Tua. 2 of the fastest guys in the league. They built that for him. What's the future now of Tua Tagovailoa? I'll just say this out of the way. Please don't think I'm insensitive by any means when I say this. But a football player has 11 days to pass a protocol. I think they're going to look for the right doctor to pass him. It's football, everybody. Don't think I'm the idiot saying it. This is what happens in that league. I root for the guy's life. I think he should consider his health. I think the league should consider himself. So I had people asking us today, all day long, I had people coming out, hey, what do you think they should do about Tua? What do I think they should do about Tua? I think the league should get involved and put him on the commissioner's list until they actually have doctors look at him to make sure he's ready to go. The league won't go near it. So if you ask me what I think, don't think I'm insensitive. I think they should put him on the commissioner's list. That's what I think. But you know what's going to happen? They have 11 days. They play Seattle next. They played the Thursday night game. They get this weekend off. All next week. They can play Skylar Thompson for a week. Who knows? They can put him on IR, whatever. All I know is Tua's going to want to go back out there because he's a football player and he's going to make a lot of money. And you know what else? The Dolphins have banked on this guy too. I read a report today from Pro Football Talk. The contract has no concussion clauses, exceptions, or waivers. But you know what they do have? An insurance policy. They covered their ass, not with Tua's contract, but on the insurance policy side of things. They will find a doctor that will clear him, and he will play. That's sad. So as much as the league wants to change kickoff rules or tell you about the Guardian helmets and this, and that, Tua has now 4 concussions that we know of. Like, everyone is thinking of this guy's life. Unfortunately, when it comes to the game of football, people want to get back out there for the next game. The NFL is going to want him to get out there for the next game. The NFL won't touch this one. And I'm telling you, if they really did care, they'd put him on the commissioner's exempt list. Let him figure this thing out. Pay him. Give him the right to see a doctor. Let him make a decision or a doctor make a decision. The NFL won't touch this thing. They won't touch it. And in this case, regarding this guy's life, they should. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. Anything to add on that, Skaz? Because I do agree. I wish, you know how good it would look by the NFL if they did that? It would show that instead of the kickoff rules and saying it and doing it, they at least did something to care about someone's future. It would help the team. It would do a lot of things here to actually come up with the right decision instead of forcing a doctor to put his reputation on the line to put this guy back out there and potentially get hurt again.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you said, you just hope Tua is okay. He's a young guy. He's got a family. It's just a really bad situation. You see him go down again, the same, like arm shootout, hands, everything you read about, bad concussions is what we've seen with Tua, unfortunately, multiple times now. And yeah, personally, like for me, like I don't want to see Tua play quarterback again. And I like Tua. I think he's a very good player. It's just, at what point is it not worth it for him anymore? Take the money and live the rest of your life. It's just, it's a really sad, unfortunate situation, but it's also, unfortunately, it's a part of football. It's a part of the NFL, and they've done, I wouldn't say everything, but they have taken immense strides over the last, 10 to 15 years to try and at least somewhat limit, damage to the head, brain trauma, all that stuff. So yeah, it almost feels like the NFL has to step in here. Maybe that's a little strong, but you saw Mike McDaniel's reaction, like he kisses him on the head, walking off the field. He was visibly shaken up post game, and all understandably so. Like, how could you not be?
Everyone was shaken up.
Yeah, and that's just being human. Like, the guy, you know his family, you've been around him for a while now. So, yeah, it's really unfortunate for Tua, as a guy who always wanted to be an NFL quarterback. I'm sure was living out his dream, but when you're racking up concussions like that, especially the way in which he's been concussed, I just, as a fan of the NFL and, as someone who doesn't want to see I don't want to see my favorite athletes look the way they do when they get older.
I hated watching Peyton Manning at the end. I hated watching certain guys.
I'm not even talking about when they're in the NFL, Joe. I'm talking about, look at the refrigerator Perry.
Oh my God, I met Earl Campbell recently, and I went, oh my God.
It's heartbreaking when you see these guys older. So just from a human-to-human standpoint, I don't want to see Tua ever play in the NFL again, and that sucks. It's just a really unfortunate situation the Dolphins are in.
I think Tua could do a lot if he wanted to hang it up. He could probably do SEC football. Who knows? He could probably be a panelist for ESPN's Game Day. I don't know. Maybe he could go back to Hawaii and do something there. I don't know. Maybe he could work under McDaniel's staff. The kid's a smart kid. He knows the game of football. Sometimes things are more important than football. And listen, athletes don't want to hear that. That's why I feel like the NFL, if they won't go, if they went near it, I'd applaud them.
Yeah, and I think in the past we've seen athletes kind of skate around this, former players and stuff, but the outpouring today, Ryan Clark, a guy that played for the Steelers, and obviously it wasn't the 80s, but a guy that played in a more physical NFL than it is today, hearing guys like that talk about it, there are a couple other ones I can't remember off the top of my head, but numerous old players just coming out today saying, this guy's got to worry about his future, got to worry about his family. And yeah, I almost hope the NFL steps in, but I wonder if they kind of almost want it to be Tua's decision. They don't want to take that away from him. Let him be the one that makes the decision.
And that's why I'm telling you, he'll be there's going to be a question mark against him versus Seattle. Some doctor is going to approve it. Some doctor is going to approve it. But maybe we can do this later, but I think there's some options to consider for them to find a backup. Maybe it is Skylar Thompson. I don't know. Bunch of names that are certainly out there. All right, on the other side here, a report has come out from the New York Post regarding the Celtics ownership and the reason for the sale. It's a big one. We'll have that for you after the headlines here. I'm Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
WBC-FM and HD Boston.
Patriots!
It's an all-new season for the Patriots.
Wow.
And you'll hear it all right here.
Yes.
Your home of the pass. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Patriots gearing up for Sunday's game versus the Seahawks. The injury report is out for the Patriots. Kyle Duggar is listed as questionable, along with Layden Robinson, Dietrich Wise, and JaMychal Hasty, while Sidney So is out. The Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker III and right tackle George Fant doubtful for Sunday. A huge loss for the Seahawks if it does happen or if he doesn't make the trip. Christian McCaffrey out for the 49ers this week. May potentially miss the Patriots game in week 4. Red Sox in action right now versus the New York Yankees. Dick Fitz on the mound tonight. 2 2/3, 1 hit, 3 walks, only 1 strikeout so far. 65 pitches already versus his former team. And I'm watching college football right now. Kansas has a 14-6 lead. I like Kansas State tonight versus Arizona. Headlines, they are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update in 30 minutes.
This is Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown turns the corner. Finger roll is up and good. Score on the foul.
Listen to home of the Boston Celtics, 98.5, the Sports Hub.
All right, back here at 98.5, the Sports Hub. It just so happened last night we played a lot of the Jason Tatum stuff from his appearance on Jimmy Fallon. He's doing a little bit of a media tour. I was trolling Skaz a little bit about how the national media would handle some of those things, so we'll do that later in the show. This is something we got to read to you. This from the New York Post at 6:05 p.m. tonight. So we'll be the first show to react to this. Headline: Dispute between father and son. Boston Celtics owners over team's massive payroll sparked the sale.
Just one note on this story. This comes from Josh Kosman, who has been a New York Post business reporter for 13 years. He is not a sports guy. He's a business reporter.
I'll just read the story. The Boston Celtics ballooning payroll allegedly sparked a rift within the family that owns the team, leading the aging patriarch to demand his free-spending son sell the iconic franchise. Irving Grousbeck, a 90-year-old Massachusetts-born entrepreneur who owns a controlling roughly 20% stake in the team, balked at funding big losses on the horizon from the massive contracts that helped the Celtics capture a record 18th NBA championship in June. To win that title, his 63-year-old son, Wyc Grousbeck, put together the league's priciest roster, one that is projected to cost around $500 million for the 25-26 season after shelling out big buck contracts this summer to lock up its stars. Wyc Grousbeck, who owns roughly 3% stake, but is the front-facing owner, obviously announced the decision to put his beloved hometown team up for sale shortly after hosting the NBA trophy. Quote, "That's what happens when dad puts in most of the money," a source said. "The team barely broke even last season during its championship run," said another source. "It is expected to lose roughly $80 million because of the luxury tax fines for being over the salary cap for the upcoming season. Tips off next month," another source said to the sale process. "That figure likely will rise significantly in 25-26 when harsher salary cap fines kick in. We know about the 11 players under contract. Wyc says we'll spend whatever it takes, but dad wasn't into losing money," another source said. The Grousbecks have been contended they're selling the team from estate planning purposes. And that's when they made the announcement. Wyc Grousbeck reiterated that the statement in speaking to the family, he said when he reached out to the Post this past Friday. The Grousbeck family is selling the team for estate and family planning considerations. To say the sale is in any other way related to losses is completely incorrect, he insisted. And I think Felger went with that one, if I recall. There has not been a capital call from ownership or any additional investment of any kind in the 22 years the Celtics have been partners, and they don't anticipate there being one. Irv Grousbeck did not return calls and emails seeking comment. Didn't Dundaro reach out to him?
I believe he got an email back.
Okay. The hallowed franchise of Red Auerbach, Bill Russell, Larry Bird was sold for $360 million in 2003 to the group led by Irv Grousbeck. But part of the current financial difficulties is that they don't own the Celtics' home arena. So they do not collect revenue from concerts and other events that would help offset any of their losses. The projected losses and lack of an arena to throw into the deal could make prospective buyers hesitant to shell out the $6 billion price tag the NBA reportedly wants. Quote, This will be very interesting because of the economics that aren't there. The Celtics getting $6 billion is going to be difficult, another source said. It should be more like $5 billion. The Dallas Mavericks, who lost to Boston in the NBA Finals, sold for $3.5 billion last year. That was short of the current $4 billion mat that the Phoenix Suns, Matasheba bought back in 2022. Just a couple of things here. Wyc Grousbeck is spending all the money. They're losing money.
They're not losing money yet, but they're going to.
They're going to lose $80 million. And they didn't profit during a championship season.
That's not uncommon.
Yeah. There are a lot of
The Warriors had some crazy contracts when they were winning titles.
Some of the biggest ads that you hear aren't profitable companies. So that doesn't bother me. There's a rift. Irv sees it as losing money. Wyc looks at it as investing in the team. So what did Irv do? He pulled out. Spending daddy's money. I mean, this is what at least the article's saying.
Yeah, and I find it tough to disagree with. I mean, it certainly seems from everything we know and we've seen to this point that Wyc is Irv is a businessman, Wyc also a businessman, but it's Irv's business to run, and he sees those losses coming down the line. He got his second ring, and he's not interested in losing $80 million one year and then that going up significantly in the years to follow.
I think Wyc's a good owner. I think this has been a really good ownership group.
Irv's the owner.
Okay. I guess where I'm going with this is, has the Grousbecks' expectations of income and being competitive and going for Banner 18, was it bad business practice? And now look, they're signing everybody.
I don't think you can call it bad business when you win. It's bad business if it forces you to sell the team, though. And so the other part of the article, too, and I know you touched on this a little bit, was that they're asking $6 billion for the team. Everything in this article basically says it'll be a shock if they get $6 billion because they do not own the arena, and that is a huge part of making money because of the concerts and events you can hold there and just concessions and all that stuff. So for me, you're making the Celtics one of the more desirable franchises in all of sports. I don't want to say you're making them, undesirable because that's just not true, but you're certainly putting the new owner in a position where, do you think about a new arena? Do you think about all this stuff is just coming into play when it was the Grousbecks and Wyc, you just figured, they'll pay. That's all we heard. They'll do whatever it takes.
Where do they get the money from? Is he going to ask his dad? Where are they going to get the money for this?
So to me, my biggest takeaway reading this article, people were hesitant about Jeff Bezos potentially owning the team. Bring me Jeff Bezos.
Here's the deal. If it's not $6 billion because they don't own the... How do the Celtics make money? I'm dead serious. Merchandise? Doesn't Fanatics own a lot of this stuff? I'm sure they're not poor scats. I'm sure there's a way they make money. But if it's not ticket sales, and if it's not concessions...
So revenue streams for NBA teams, national revenue, media, broadcast deals, merchandise, shared ticket revenue, other sponsorships is 40% of revenue. Seating and suites, which it's not their building, so I don't know how that is broken down.
No, that's zero. Call it zero.
26% of revenue.
Zero for them.
Local media, 13%. Team sponsorship, 12%. Concessions, parking, and other, 8%.
Okay, so they're making 8%. No wonder why it's $60 to park in that building. Jeez. Dude, they're not making money. I hate to say this, but the Jacobs are geniuses for this. And jerks. No, I mean, you're good business, good business practice for them.
Unfortunately, this is why teams like the Chicago White Sox exist, because, the Oakland A's existed horribly for decades because The owners are going to make money if they don't pay players. They're going to get their share of the TV money, the revenue, all that stuff. You're more profitable if your roster, if you're not paying these guys.
Remember Wick said he didn't care about the money, he cares about the wins?
Yeah, because it wasn't his money, Joe. Yeah. That's why he didn't care about the money.
I know.
It's not his money.
That's what I'm going with it.
So they need the next owner, if you want this Celtics team to stay together and continue to win, has to not care about the money.
Do you remember the night where we found out that Bill Nye wasn't a real science guy and I called him a poser? Wick Grossbeck is a huge poser. He represents being... Listen, Wick, I don't want you to get offended by what I'm saying, but I'm just going to call it what it is. Your daddy owns the team. You're the face of it. You're spending all the money, and your dad thinks you're irresponsible. And here's the other thing. You guys make no money besides the TV rights. Literally, the 8% off concessions, that does nothing for you. We got to get into this in a little bit, and we'll get into more of the Patriots-Seahawks with Doug Kyed coming up from the Herald in a minute here, but Wick has been the face and has been saying, yeah, we don't care, saying all the right things for a guy who has little control and makes no money. I think there's a big problem. Someone's going to save him. They feel he seems pretty confident, doesn't he, Wick? We're gonna be $6 million. This could be great. There's got to be someone like you mentioned, Bezos, Steve Wynn, someone else. I don't know if it's Bagluka. I'll tell you that much right now. 617-779-0985. We'll pick this up. Woo! This is a big one. I don't know. This is a hot one for a Friday going into a weekend. Talk about a news dump, huh? 6:05 p.m. Talk to Doug Kyed of the Boston Herald coming up next here on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Be sure to enjoy all the Major League Baseball action.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. We got Patriots-Seahawks this weekend. Injury report is out. And let's go to our Volkswagen dealers expert hotline. We'll welcome in Doug Kyed. He's at the Boston Herald. Doug, things seem to be turning up Patriots right now. No T. Higgins week 1, potentially no Kenneth Walker week 2. Who knows about the Jets in week 3? And, well, maybe they miss Christian McCaffrey and even Tua Tagovailoa. Are things turning up Patriots in your eyes?
They are as we speak, yeah. I mean, obviously the Patriots themselves have to stay healthy, but, yeah, I think that losing Kenneth Walker in this game is pretty massive because you would think that would probably make the Seahawks pretty one-dimensional on defense, having to depend on Geno Smith. Geno Smith, not the same guy the Patriots fans might have seen back in 2013, 2014, but still prone to make some mistakes when he's under pressure. So, yeah, it's big, and they're on their third right tackle right now, too. Abe Lucas out, George Fant doubtful, Stone Forsythe, their current starting right tackle. Right guard's not very good either, so Keon White could do some damage against that Seahawks offensive line as well.
Absolutely. It was a tale of two halves for both teams. Patriots obviously started out great in the first half versus the Bengals. They struggled in the third quarter without a first down. But they did put things away, gave up 10 points in the second half, while if you look at Seattle, they struggled bad. Well, you mentioned the line, holding penalties, 2 safeties. But they really turned it around in that second half, and they were led by their running game. So do they still go at Charbonnet here? Like, what do you think their game plan is against this Patriots defense?
Yeah, assuming that Kenneth Walker is out, currently he's doubtful, so we'll see if he makes a trip to New England and then what they decide from there. I think that they do probably try to lean on the running game as much as they can, but Ryan Grubb is a pretty creative play caller there on offense for the Seahawks, so they could definitely scheme things up in the passing game as well. I don't think they want to depend too much on Geno Smith, but he does have those 3 really good wide receivers to throw to, and DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. So, I'm curious to see what the Patriots do coverage-wise against those receivers. Personally, I'd put Christian Gonzalez on Metcalf, Jonathan Jones on Lockett, and then Marcus Jones on Smith and Jigba. Jackson Smith and Jigba. But there's probably going to be one mismatch in there for the Seahawks that Geno Smith could potentially exploit.
Yeah, I was going to go there. I think they're a little soft at fourth corner. Obviously, Kyle Duggar's questionable, right, this week. Yep. Hawkins did very well, I got to admit, last week against tight ends. But Marco Wilson had a penalty last week. Laviska Shenault would be the fourth option. Jake Bobo, local kid as well, would be one of their other options here. But didn't they work out a bunch of defensive backs? Do they feel like they're a little short at corner?
I think I don't know. I mean, Marco Wilson didn't have the strongest, week 1. The defensive pass interference was probably the most negative play on defense in that entire game. So maybe we see a little bit more of Alex Austin in this game. Gerard Mayo and the defensive coaches were saying that there's a lot of competition at cornerback. Maybe that extends now into the regular season where put Marco Wilson out there. He doesn't look that good. Maybe now you pull him for week 2, put Alex Austin out there and see if he does a little bit better. Outside of Tyler Lockett, the Seahawks wide receiver core is pretty big. So Alex Austin is the taller, bigger cornerback of those two. So I would try to see what he can do. He had some good games at the end of last season. I know the coaching staff really likes Alex Austin, so maybe they give him a shot. But I worry a little bit about Marcus Jones every week. I mean, he had a good week 1, but that was the first game he's really ever played for the Patriots as their top slot cornerback. Bill Belichick used to prefer to play him outside. I thought he held up well, but Jackson Smith and Jigba, 6 feet. He's got the size advantage over Marcus Jones. So I want to see it for multiple weeks before I really can feel safe about Marcus Jones there in the slot.
Yeah, we were playing some highlights of old matchups between the Patriots and Seahawks. If you really think about it, the last 3, every single one of them came down to the last possession. And I feel the same way this weekend, which is why I wanted to bring up a couple of things, and I got a question for you too. But you look at Mayo, right, and you look at Michael McDonald, both are replacing Hall of Fame coaches. Both were former linebackers that are now linebacker coaches who are now head coaches. There's a lot of similarities, right? Running game, they got quarterbacks who probably aren't long-term fits. they're very alike. I do think there's more talent, of course, on Seattle with what they have, but I wanted to ask you this one, Doug. Long term, who would you rather be, the Patriots or the Seahawks?
That's a good question. I think I'd probably still rather be the Patriots just because they've got the quarterback. They've got Drake May. With the Seahawks, seems like they might be pretty good this season. So I just don't know when they'll be able to get that future franchise quarterback on their roster. Otherwise, the Seahawks have a much more talented roster. On defense, it's just loaded with guys who can really play. They've got two really good cornerbacks. Their defensive line is stacked. Drafted Byron Murphy this year. They've got some talent linebacker. And then on offense, I mentioned the 3 wide receivers, Kenneth Walker. Charles Cross is a good left tackle. So pretty much everywhere other than quarterback, I think you'd take the Seahawks. But the quarterback's the most important thing. And I believe in Drake May, and I think the Seahawks eventually will have to find their own Drake May.
All right, you mentioned Drake May. We do May Watch now every night. We play the Baywatch theme song. And it's funny because I last week I was like, oh, did anybody see Drake May on the sideline? He didn't have a helmet on. He was just wearing the earpiece. What's he doing over there? And then kind of got explained that that's the way that they anticipated things to happen and told them to do. But now we're hearing he's getting 30% of the reps. Tell us what you know about that, and what do you expect to see on the sideline this week with Drake May?
Yeah, Evan Washburn of CBS put out there that he was getting 30% of the snaps. I kind of followed up with that on a team source, and he said the same thing, that May's taking a significant amount, a good amount of first-team reps, and Gerard Mayo confirmed it today as well in the press conference. It's at 70-30 split. So I think if anything, obviously you would worry a little bit about whether or not Jacoby Brissett is getting enough reps in practice because Gerard Mayo said today that usually starters get about 95%. But it certainly helps that Jacoby Brissett knows this offense, has played in it before with Alex Van Pelt. Personally, I look at it as a good thing. The earlier we see Drake May, the better for me. I think that based on what I was hearing before the season, it should come relatively soon. I didn't get an exact date or anything like that, but basically one source said that, he played so well at the end of the summer in training camp and at the end of preseason that it's a matter of when, not if, he gets in there. So I don't know. I think it's ultimately a good thing that they're still trying to develop him behind the scenes, because they've taken such a conservative approach, such a patient approach, that it is nice to hear that he is actually getting those reps in practice.
All right, man. You got a prediction for this weekend?
I've said Seahawks win 14-13, but that truly means that I have no idea what's going to happen in this game. Kenneth Walker being out, I really do think is huge. I don't know if I turn the tables to a Patriots win just yet. I want to see it one more week. But this is another really winnable game for the Patriots. If they start out 2-0, I know that fans are going to be excited. I know that the Tua Tagovailoa, very unfortunate what happened to him last night against the Bills, but I think that breaks open the division a little bit depending on what he decides to do, what the team decides to do. So could be a little bit more of an entertaining season than we thought.
Yeah, just to touch on Tua, how do you think this all plays out for him?
I don't know. It's tough. I mean, I think that he had the concussion. I believe he had a concussion in college. Then he had the 2 situations 2 years ago. Now he's got this one. It starts to feel like guys are just, prone to concussions, and Tua seems like one of those guys at this point. And then obviously when he's, leading with his helmet, head down, barreling forward into a defender, then that's just going to create your own issues. So I don't know. I hate to speculate the way that it's going to play out, but I do think that they'll probably give him some time before he's back on the field, just even from an optics standpoint, that you don't want to rush him back out there as soon as he can play. You want to make sure that everything is fully copacetic, that he's ready to go, that he's going to be okay, because even this concussion, it seems so scary. I don't know. Hopefully, ultimately, he just winds up having a happy life, and that he can, be a normal human being after football and everything like that. But really not sure what it means for his NFL career. It's really difficult to see.
All right, Doug, you're going to be there on Sunday?
I will be there on Sunday. I'm excited for it. I was born in Edmonds, Washington, so these Seahawks Patriots games always mean a little bit extra to me. So it's going to be fun to see some of the friends I've made along the way who cover the Seahawks, and it's gonna be a fun one for me.
Yeah, so every game's come down to the last possession then. Everyone?
Oh, yeah, and then the UMag game with Richard Sherman back in the day.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Super Bowl, the
Cam Newton on the goal
game.
line. Oh,
yeah, and then there was one in 2016 as well. Was that the one that the Seahawks won?
One in at Gillette, with Wilson.
One in Gillette.
Doug Baldwin went off, I believe, that day.
Yeah. Doug Baldwin, one of the closer things I've seen in the NFL to a Julian Edelman type player, and I actually put Jackson Smith and Jigba in that same category as well. Just like their shiftiness and toughness is pretty special.
You think Bill Belichick will be there this weekend?
I don't think so. I think that he might skip this one. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who shows up for this Super Bowl 49 reunion. I mean, like half the players are on the Patriots staff right now, so you get some free ones right there, right?
Yeah, just a reminder, though, Bill Belichick was the coach of that 2014 team, just in case anyone forgot.
It is very true. Yes, he was. I don't think that Pete Carroll or Russell Wilson will be showing up for this one.
All right, he's Doug Kyed, everybody. He'll be at the Patriots game this Sunday. Writes for the Boston Herald. Go check him out. Check out the Pats Chat podcast. I've been watching, bro. Good luck to you guys. And Doug, we'll catch up soon, man. Enjoy the game this weekend.
Absolutely. Sounds good, Joe.
You got it. He's Doug Kyed of the Boston Herald. Everybody kind enough to join us here on a Friday night. I am watching Matt Sluka right now of UNLV, Skaz. If you remember the name, he was at Holy Cross last year, and he just threw a touchdown with time remaining there for UNLV. We'll take a quick look at the sports of headlines, and Kendrick Perkins had some interesting things to say about Jason Tatum's comments, and let's re-rack this story. Oh, what do you think the holidays are going to be like at the Grosbeck family this year? We'll do that coming up on the other side. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Patriots and Seahawks this Sunday, Gillette Stadium. A lot of people will be there. Will Bill Belichick
the Sports Hub.
It's been a while since we had a word of the day from you. So what's your word for Tatum wanting to win MVP?
Oh, it's simple. Selfish. He's selfish, and it's a great way of saying it. I'm not being negative right now, but look, seeking or concentrating on one's own advantage, pleasure, or well-being without regard for others. Here's the thing. I get that basketball is a team sport, right? And I get championships that help define a lot of guys' legacy. Hell, I'm still called the NBA champion to this day. But if a guy wants to hit and make and accomplish individual accolades, I'm all for it, right? KG and I in 2009, 2010, we actually got into a heated battle, which almost cost us our relationship after we won the championship because KG felt like I was playing to try to make the All-Star team. And I was. I did have my own personal agenda. And Ticket, the big fella, he had to go and think about it. He like, you know what? He came to me a few days later. He said, Pert, I should want you to make the All-Star team. You should want that for yourself. So I have no problem with a player being somewhat selfish and wanting to accomplish things on an individual basis.
All right, back here, 98.5, the Sports Hub. That's the first time I heard that clip. Sent it to Skaz. He had to listen to it to vet it. And then put it in the system. And now, I actually don't know what he said. Did he say he was... Wait, let me just double check. He thinks that Jason Tatum is selfish for saying that could be the MVP, but then brought himself up. What the hell did he just say?
Welcome. I mean, talk about the Joe Murray cul-de-sac. Welcome to the Kendrick Perkins cul-de-sac. Going around in circles there. I don't know. I don't take anything Perk says seriously at this point. He's a clickbait guy. That's what he does. He's become very good at it. He's probably a lot better at that than he was in the NBA. So good for him for having his second act. But yeah, I mean, I find it funny. Jason Tatum selfish if he wants to win MVP. Yeah, sure, if you want to say that, but it doesn't matter how he looks on the floor. If Jason Tatum is taking 35, 40 shots a game and costing the Celtics wins, trying to win the MVP, sure, let's call him selfish. Saying he wants to win MVP on a late-night talk show because what's he supposed to do? Say Luka is going to win the MVP or Giannis or Embiid or Jokic or somebody? So, yeah, it's just we're in the down period for the NBA, Joe, and these are the kind of stories and sound bites we're going to get.
All right, cool. Well, I posted about the Friday news dump, so you can react to the Kendrick Perkins stuff if you want. It's just, I don't know where he stands. I actually don't know. Is he selfish or is he not? I don't know. But people, guys, I posted the story. I said Friday news dump, and then I get, you have a terrible take. But my take was I posted the article. And then I said, well, I posted the article. I didn't have a take. And he goes, no, your take that they get 0 from the Gate Suites Club Suite sales. To me, 8% is nothing. When you're spending $400 million a year, what's 8%? I'm being serious. What's 8% when you could be getting millions? So, yeah, 0. You hate my take because you don't like it. They don't really make any money besides ticket sales. Where do they make money, Skaz? Where do they make money? They get 8% of the concessions? I don't know. 100% is making money. By the way, 20% shareholder means you can be the owner of the team. Isn't that weird?
And just on the ticket sales thing, NBA ticket sales are part of the revenue sharing system.
So let me get this right. The Celtics will make money off a TV deal, right? Because the whole NBA.
That is where the 41% comes from, the TV deals.
So 41%.
All that
so
stuff,
that's a profit for them. Okay. But yet they're going to lose $80 million in 25, 26. So where are they making money again?
I mean, doesn't this make you, I was almost against a new arena at times just because, it's the Garden, Celtics Bruins, all that stuff. But doesn't this kind of make you want the Celtics to have their own arena so that we don't have to go through this again?
Guys, to your point, they need someone to buy the Celtics who will build an arena. They need someone with FU money who doesn't care. Here's the other thing. I don't think the Celtics are truly how about this? I don't think it's a value to a lot of stakeholders because you're not buying low. You're buying them at the highest peak that they can. So a lot of smart investors are going to say, we're not going to spend that money. But now knowing that they're not profitable and knowing that they don't get a lot of percentage of everything and that they could be sold for less than $6 billion, isn't that now profitable? The fact that they might be sold for 5 instead of 6? Doesn't an investor look at that and say, so you mean to tell me we can buy this for $5 billion, buy out the Jacobs in Delaware North, go hook up with the Wynn or somewhere else, put a new arena in, and now start to make money? The problem is, Skaz, will this group be able to be here together while they're losing money? This is ugly.
Yeah, I mean, you're almost hoping for like a Mets situation where someone like Steve Cohen comes in who has more money than just about anybody on the face of the planet, and his one goal is to make the Mets good again.
Is it working?
Kind of. They're battling. You know, Lindor's having would normally be an MVP season, but because baseball's having such a good year, he's not. But yeah, it's just it's when your team is up for sale, it really just sucks. Like there's no other way around it because the future of your franchise, the team you root for, the team that you watch every night that you're invested in, you're unsure of their future. You really just what happens next with whoever owns a team is. I mean, look at Dan Snyder for years. People think Stephen Ross in Miami is not a good owner. Like when you have a bad ownership, it's almost impossible to overcome that.
I got something for you here. The 90-year-old father, what's he going to do with this money?
Not worry, Joe. He's not going to have to think about the Celtics ever again. He's not going to have to think about his son spending $400 million of his money. It's just, we're done. I got my money. I don't need to worry about you having your little toy that you're playing with every year, spending millions of my money. He wants to be out. He doesn't want to be worried about the losses. This isn't about what's he going to do. It's what is he not going to do anymore, and he's not going to worry about Wick and the Celtics.
Did he ask his daddy's permission to sign everybody this offseason?
Yeah, because Wick was probably selling the team. He probably knew. He could sign them all. Go ahead. It doesn't matter. I'm going to sell them anyways.
Makes me think Bezos.
Makes you hope Bezos.
Oh, this is a little over
the Amazon Prime Arena.
Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, we don't do politics. We don't do religion. We don't do a lot of things on this show. This one here is a little over my head. So you call me an idiot. I don't care. I'm ignorant. I don't care. All I can tell you is the 90-year-old daddy wants to sell the team because the 60-year-old kid is blowing all the money. Yeah, they won a championship. Good. They want $6 billion, yet they're not profitable. Celtics fans should be wishing someone with FU money comes in and gets a stadium because, or something, an arena. They're making peanuts. They're making peanuts. And they're blowing money fast, like my man Rick Ross says. 617-779-0985. You know what we got coming up on the other side here. It's In or Out. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
guaranteed.
I'm a poser. Oh, I am. But you want to shut those pumps off because it stops the... but when you don't have pumps pumping, it's heat, baby, right in that belly. Right in the gut. So I'm in.
All right, Joe. Well, you mentioned WWE, so why not head to the world of WWE? One, is this Greg Gagne? Greg Gagne?
Oh, yeah, Greg Gagne, yep.
Claims WWE is going to bring back Jesse Ventura for Saturday Night Main Event. Joe Murray, are we in or out on the return of Jesse Ventura?
I'm in. You know why? Because he's one of the only people to ever go against Vince McMahon. And that's why he's back. Vince is gone. Jesse, he was an absolute... Him and Gorilla Monsoon, arguably. Because you could probably say Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler were the best. They probably were. But Gorilla, Bobby the Brain, Gorilla, Ventura, although I don't care for his political antics at all, I think he'd be very good to come back. He's one of the best guys on the mic of all time. Plus, he used to do the original Saturday Night Main Event. Plus, if you have him on Netflix, But again, no politics here, everybody. Keep them out. No. I already see them. No.
All right, Joe. We'll head to the world of Major League Baseball for this one. Major League Baseball has signed a deal with Strauss, placing the German company's logo on all MLB helmets during the postseason and all minor league helmets during the regular season and postseason. Some pictures of the helmets are in the tweet from Joe Pompolano, and it is just a big Strauss in white letters across the side of the helmets. Joe Murray, are we in or out on helmet logos?
Random, but I put a sticker on my helmet in high school, and nobody liked it. It was really frowned upon at a Catholic high school. Can you believe that?
Yes, Joe, I can believe that.
It actually was the... did you ever see the old Nike sticker that used to say it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog? That's the sticker I put on my helmet. Nope.
Joe, you're a pretty big dog, though.
No, I know, but I thought it was cool. No, that's what I was trying to say. It's not the size of the dog. It's the size of the fight of the dog.
That dog's got some fight.
They didn't like that. But you know what, though, Skaz? Baseball needs more money, right?
Yeah, but my thing is, like, I don't know, put it on the jerseys or, like, I just think it looks so awful. Like, give us a patch on the arm or on the shoulder like the NBA
they're
does.
just helmets.
Yeah, I guess, but it is a big logo. If it's as big as it is in these pictures.
When someone's at the plate, are you looking at the logo?
If it's on the, well, depending on the batter, if it's on the left side of a righty, you're going to be forced to look at this thing.
I will say that for the pitcher's sake, not good. If we're just talking about how it affects the game, I think the pitcher could be, I don't know. Yeah. So you're out.
Yeah, I'm kind of out on that one. All right, Joe, we like rumors.
I don't know what I am yet, by the way, on that one. Because of my sticker day. Go ahead.
We like rumors. We like conspiracy theories. Well, Joe, we know that Kendrick Lamar will be performing at the Super Bowl, but a leaked Apple set list came out today from the potential Super Bowl. Who knows if this is correct, but it had Kendrick Lamar performing with Oasis at the Super Bowl. Joe Murray, would you be in or out on Kendrick and Oasis teaming up at the Super Bowl?
Like a hip-hop version of Wonderwall?
I will see if I can find
or like
exact...
Champagne Supernova? How many special people, Jane? How many lives are living strange? Where were you while we were getting high? And then Kendrick Lamar comes in with, like, you know, his jam.
So apparently, Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl music halftime show is the tweet. The encore rock and roll star KKB and Oasis is the picture. And Liam Gallagher tweeted back at this post and said, "How's that leaked? For F's sake."
So, he's not happy about that.
So, it could be some truth behind it, but who knows?
Not the collab that I was hoping for, Skaz. But you know what will happen? Did you see Oasis at the Super Bowl? Big out.
Joe, today is Friday the 13th. I don't know if we've mentioned that yet.
Yes.
It is.
By the way, we talked about Jason Voorhees this week, right?
We did. Kane Hodder.
Right? I love Friday the 13th movies. Same thing every time, right? Couple gets it on, right? They hang out. One goes downstairs to get beer while the other tries to have a smoke, and they always get killed, right? It's the same one every time. So you get horror, a little bit of naughty time, a little bit of suspense, the lake, right? Some weird person on the side of the road, and Jason, and maybe his mom. It's a hell of a Friday the 13th, I got to tell you. I am in. Is that what you were going to ask me? I am in on Friday the 13th. Give me all the spooky stuff.
Did you ever find out if you were born on Friday the 13th?
I have to find out. I don't think so now that I'm looking back at it. But I was born on the 13th. Hey, you know what's funny? All right, Skaz. When's the last time? Okay, all right. Let's do an exercise. Seriously, let you know how I get my pencil, right? Okay, make a clock, right? Go circle. Go 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay? What is 12 plus 1, Skaz?
That would be 13, Joe.
What is 11 plus 2?
That would be 13, Joe.
What is 10 plus 3?
13. I'm sensing a pattern here.
What is 9 plus 4?
I'm going to assume these are all 13, Joe.
8 plus 5, 7 plus 6. The clock! Everything goes to 13! Look! You can't see on the radio, but you can on YouTube. Have you ever seen that before? Did you know that? 11 plus 1 is 12, 10 plus 2 is 13's a weird, and you know that I went to the Biltmore Hotel in Providence, Rhode Island. There's no 13th floor.
Yeah, I've seen that in some hotels before. The 14th floor just is the 13th floor in that case. But, yeah, I guess for superstitious people, it's nice. Joe, let's end with this one tonight.
I was born on a Saturday.
Oh, well, there you're not a bad one. I don't know if you've ever seen a Lawrence of Arabia, Joe, but Roland Emmerich is developing a Lawrence of Arabia remake as a three-season prestige TV series. The man that wrote Bohemian Rhapsody is hoping to write the entire first season. Joe Murray, are we in or out on a Lawrence of Arabia TV show?
Sure, I'm in on it, but it reminds me of the song from the end of 40-Year-Old Virgin, right? Wait. Last song in 40-Year-Old Virgin. Aquarius. Oh, okay. Aquarius. Why did I think it was Arabia? Aquarius. Let the sun shine. Why was I putting those two together? I feel like I just pulled the Zoe. Aquarius, Arabia. I just did it. I just pulled the Zoe. Jason always goes on a spree on Friday the 13th, man. I wonder how many kills he's had. Nobody likes my clock, huh? No? Has anyone ever seen that before? Did you know this?
I don't know what you're trying to prove, Joe. That numbers add up to 13?
The clock! Everything goes to 13. Every number left to right goes to 13. Every number left to right. 12 plus 1, 11 plus 2, 10 plus 3, 9 plus 4, 8 plus 5, 7 plus 6. All 13. Where are we going with this? The age of Aquarius. Thank you. Aquarius. Oh, we're late. I'll get the headlines here. I'm Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
WBZ-FM and HD Boston. We've got the Patriots covered.
Back to the home. He's in trouble. A sack.
It's an all-new season for the Pats, and you'll hear it all right here. 98.5, The Sports Hub, the Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox up 4-0 right now. Masataka Yoshida with a 2-run homer and somebody named Trevor Story? Heard of him before? Well, anyways, that guy hit a home run. Dick Fitz, 5 innings, 2 hits, 3 earned, 2 strikeouts, 90 pitches versus his former team. He's yet to give up a run. Did you know that? Where's he been all year? Like, for real. And the Patriots, they square off this weekend with the Seahawks. Kenneth Walker, George Fant, doubtful for Sunday. Patriots without City So, and Kyle Duggar is on the questionable list. Let me get back to my clock. Headlines are brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss this September. Make losing weight part of your new routine. Energy, clarity, better health. Find it all at awaken180weightloss.com. I'm Joe Murray, and I like clocks.
Here we go.
Boom. I win. Boom. Yeah. Hit somebody.
We've got a passion for Boston sports.
Get angry.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
What?
And Jupiter.
Harmony and understanding. Sympathy and trust with God.
See, I thought this was Lawrence of Arabia. Instead, it's Aquarius. You know, it happens sometimes, guys. Sometimes we screw things up. You know, I don't know why that popped in my head there. But that's funny, by the way. At the end of the movie, it's so great.
It's great that that's like Steve Carell and Seth Rogen singing.
Okay, I got to say one thing about that movie real quick. The Lionel Richie by himself, lighting all the candles. Hello, is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes. And then he turns the photo around. That was the move. That was what
Clarkson.
The show's going full circle tonight. It's going. Hello, is it me you're looking for?
A super young Jonah Hill is very funny in that movie as well.
Hey man, I just want to buy these like boots, man.
Can't buy them. You can't buy them here.
Yeah, so I'll just like give you the money and I'll just like leave it here. You don't have to tell anybody. I'll just take it. You know who's awesome in that movie? Why can't I remember her name right now? The manager. She was.
Oh, Jane Lynch.
Jane
Lynch is phenomenal.
Hey there. So weird Jane Lynch note. She was in The Fugitive. She was one of the doctors who helped Dr. Kimball find out about the slides. He like mixed up the slides, and then when they found out the guy died, he already signed everything. That was Jane Lynch. She was in that. She's the grandmother in Talladega Nights too, right? Where she slaps those boys who are all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Best in Show. She's good in that.
She's great.
Oh, Role Models. I don't know if you've ever seen Role Models when they have to do the Big Brother program.
Yeah,
She's in charge of the Big Brother program. Very good.
I almost confused her. If you remember when they did the speed dating? I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not doing it. But you know who I'm talking about. I believe her name was Gina. I believe that was her name. Because I'm pretty sure Seth Rogen was very interested in her. Not to mention, remember the girl who threw up on the way home? That's Judd Apatow's wife, right? And Skaz, I don't know if you remember this. In the movie Big Daddy, do you remember where she worked?
Well, at the end, Joe. Well, she started at a Hooters. Well, her friend worked at the Hooters, and then she worked at the Hooters with the old guy.
Okay, all right. We're back to sports, everybody. back to sports. I'm sure we could keep going, right? We can keep this thing going if you want. Remember the guy last night who called in with the Michael McDonald lyrics? Forget we're not in love anymore. And by the way, Michael McDonald is in that movie. Wow. This show has gone completely in a circle. Einbein says he wears PJs in the winter, just the bottoms though. I don't think I've ever worn top and bottom pajama now that I think about it. I don't think I think it's one or the other. No, I have never worn top and bottom. I'm like Tony Soprano, you know? You either go robe or nothing, right?
Joe, I have a Sopranos thing that I saw going a little bit viral on Twitter. I think it might have been Jeff D. Lowe, a Barstool guy that originally tweeted it, or somebody tweeted it. But Joe, I know we're past in or out, but are you in or out? Now, I have not finished The Sopranos, so I am out on this, but on a rewatch, people say they fast forward the therapy sessions, the Melfi scenes. Joe Murray, are you in or out on fast forwarding shows
no.
on a rewatch?
Ooh. Can I tell you though? Sons of Anarchy, there are some. Here's the problem with TV nowadays. See, Skaz, you watching The Sopranos, right? Back in the day, you couldn't do that. You had to watch. It was appointment watching every week to the point where you talked about it the next day. Ozark, if you know that show was made to stream every single day. So what I mean by that is it was made to binge watch. The Sopranos wasn't. So I feel like you got something out of Dr. Melfi every single time. I mean, I could give you a bunch, but I'm not going to right now because you haven't seen it yet. But I don't know. I just feel like I would not do that. But I will tell you this, Sons of Anarchy, though, I would love to fast forward a couple of seasons. I thought the season in Ireland was absolutely great. Someone just asked, have you ever done the matching Christmas PJ picture? No. I've never worn matching pajamas before. Skaz?
Maybe like as a kid for Christmas or something.
But top and bottom.
Yeah, I'm sure like me and my siblings might have had, matching PJs. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but probably at some point.
Probably, but now, no.
No, not really, no.
You're not a matching PJ person.
No, I'm not really a big PJs guy.
Okay. But you asked about fast forwarding, no.
So, if you were going to rewatch Breaking Bad, would you skip the Fly episode, or do you watch every single episode?
No, because
I've never seen it. I just know that's like the consensus worst episode.
Okay, here's the deal. There's actually symbolism.
So you don't skip anything on a rewatch?
Sons of Anarchy, I would probably fast forward some things because I will tell you, when you get to season 5 of The Sopranos, they're just milking some things there. Like they add a character, they add more people. All of a sudden, Vito is like, really prominent. There's this like guy who owns a diner. They make love. I'm not fast forwarding that. It was so suspenseful every week. No. People fast forward the Melfi scenes?
Apparently that was going around on Twitter this week. By
the way, I sent this to you last night in Saga. I know we got to go to break. But did you see the guy who does the impersonation of Tony Soprano?
I actually did see that. Yeah, that was pretty good.
It was. He goes, Tony talks in an ish, so everything is Janish. I'm trying to be careful here. But if you haven't seen that, I'll retweet it if you haven't seen it. But it's so good. This guy does an amazing, like, character of Tony Soprano. It's awesome. It's almost to the T, actually. All right, we got to go to break. Hey, why don't we go around the NFL? Let's do that. Coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray.
Dig.
All right, back here at 98.5, the Sports Hub. We're here until 11 o'clock. We got the musings end of the hour. We're going to go around the league in just a minute here. And we'll get back to that Celtics conversation, and we got our eyes on the Red Sox as well, if anyone else still cares. But there's some people in the chat who said, I'm trying to call in, but nobody's answering. Well, I think Skaz and I are on the same, how do we say that? We're on the same potty schedule.
Commercial breaks are short. You got to make a quick run out there.
We're the only two here. So it just so happened he shuts down the YouTube. I get up to go out there, and we just happen to go to the bathroom together, which I have questioned women doing many times in my life. It's like, oh, we'll go to the bathroom together. It's like, what are you guys doing there? Me and Skaz talked about 40-Year-Old Virgin and rewatching the movie again, and I don't remember what else we talked about. Football, which is what we're going to talk about right now at 617-779-0985. Can we start it off with our friend? He's our buddy, I think. But he makes a song every week. And you know what? I think we should listen to another one. Because if you're going to put this type of effort in for your favorite team.
Yes, this is Seth DeFlo Erskines is his name.
His name is Seth DeFlo.
DeFlo.
He's got the flow. All right, well, pedal to the flow. DeFlo. Let's hear it.
This is our Colts. This is our team. We bleed blue. This is our Colts. Whether win or lose, we love them. For the shoe, beat the Packers. Let's pack them down with our shoes. This is our team. Go Colts!
Woo! This is our Colts. This is our team. We bleed blue. I'm like, it's stuck in my head right now. Colts go to Green Bay this week as 3-point favorites on the road. No word yet on Jordan Love, who was listed as questionable. Why would you throw him out there? If it's not him, it will be Malik Willis, former second-round pick. I think it'd be a tough day for Green Bay, personally. But Anthony Richardson on the road. Colts on the road. 2 0-1 teams meeting. What's the stat, Skaz? 0-1 teams meet. The underdog wins 65% of the time. Is this a spot for the Packers?
The dogs. Are you a Malik Willis guy?
I was, but I'm not anymore. I watched him in the preseason. He actually had a nice little drive late, and he got traded.
Do you think LaFleur could... That's kind of, can LaFleur get him ready for one game?
Can Josh Jacobs carry the load? I will say this. Really good receivers there, though. Like, if they can protect, can he make decent throws? I don't know. But how about Anthony Richardson on the road? Right? They play a lot of games indoors. Like, they got to play on grass here, too.
He played at Florida,
So that's an interesting one. How about the Jets-Titans? Jets have the Patriots on deck. Titans off that loss. Again, 0-1 teams meeting.
That line makes me a little nervous, too.
The 3.5, it went through the key number of 3, too. Eileen home dog. Dude, the Titans are a good home team. A very good home team.
Betting on Will Levis is, that's tough. That's tough to do.
It's trick or treat. That's exactly what it is. It's trick or treat when it comes to those two. Do you think the Jets bounce back, though, or do you think that was what the Jets are?
I thought Rodgers looked okay at times. Like, I didn't think he was, a massive issue. The line was bad. Defense was not good. So, I mean, if you're a Jets fan, you start 0-2 with Rod, like, you're doing this again. So I would never hope for Jets fans that they win a game, but for the NFL, you're almost hoping. So I do think they bounce back against Tennessee.
Saints go to Dallas. Dallas is 6-point favorites, which I think is a right line. Dak Prescott's an amazing home player. That's legit. But I will always fade a team that scored 40 points the following week. I'm not going to bet this one myself, but if I was going to make a wager, I would roll with the Dallas Cowboys here. And let's not forget, Saints closed 3.5-point favorites, and now they're 6-point underdogs the following week after scoring 40 points. That's a 9-point swing. Makes me feel Cowboys. So that's how I look at that one. Some other game, Lions Bucks. I feel like this is a solid game.
I was kind of surprised it's a 1 o'clock.
I know, because sometimes we'll get that in that window right there. The Bucks closed as 4-point favorites versus Washington, and now they're 7-point dogs versus the Lions. Do you know we've only seen this a couple of times where that has happened? Those teams, 4 times. 1-3 against the spread, 0-4 straight up. Everyone has lost by 17 points or more. That's just history right there. That's weird, right? Almost 7-point underdogs a week after being 4-point favorites and covering. I follow those trends, everybody. Doesn't make sense. That's why you follow it. 49ers, Vikings. The 49ers know Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold knows the 49ers. Now, after winning on the road, after winning at home and then going on the road as 4.5-point favorites, I have my questions regarding the 49ers this week. In his career, Sam Darnold, 23-33-1. And as a starter, he struggled. As an underdog, though, he's 6-9. 6-9. So, I don't know, is there any value there? The 49ers have also covered the spread in 5 straight road games dating back to last season. And in true road games, Kyle Shanahan is 8-2 against the spreads on short rest, covering every game by 7 points, guys. No Christian McCaffrey. Trent Williams, also a question mark in this game. And just so you know, the 49ers, these are the numbers that they've put up without Trent Williams. 20, 19, 17, 17, 14, but they're 22-2 when he plays over 50% of the snaps. He might be a Hall of Fame left tackle, guys. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I mean, guy's a monster. And on the McCaffrey thing, there's a report from Schefter that he could go on IR tomorrow.
Which would mean the Patriots would miss him. Coming up, Pats again. How about the Giants at Washington? Eileen Giants. They got completely upset last week. And again, Skaz, 0-1 teams meet. The underdog wins 63% of the time. I like the Giants against a rookie quarterback, but rookie quarterback at home. This one's interesting. Daniel Jones, did you know that he's 6-1 against the spread his career versus Washington? He got sacked 5 times in the opener. I don't see that happening again this week, but he's 5-1-1 straight up against Washington in his career. I lean Giants on that one. How about the Chargers going to the Panthers? Now, Skaz, what number do I always tell you if there's a favorite? What do you stay away from?
That would be a 5, Joe. You sniff out that 5.
The Chargers go on the road as 5-point favorites to a team that gave up 40 points. Panthers are nothing. Panthers at home. This is a week 1 overreaction here. Now, it makes me wonder, if this game was in L.A., what's the spread? Would they be 8-point favorites? This is Panthers or nothing, if you ask me. And listen, it's hard to put any money on the Panthers. But I don't have to put money on it. I can just pick it, right? Give me the Panthers. Browns, Jaguars. So, 0-1 teams. The number's only 3 for Jacksonville? Doesn't seem right. Jags need this game. They need this game because Houston can go up in the division, right? What is Deshaun Watson? This might be it. I think that defense can hold down Jaguars. I do. But can Deshaun Watson do anything on the road in this type of climate? I'm not betting on that one. Sorry. I don't know if you got anything on that one, but I'm not buying that one.
No, yeah, that's potential to be an ugly one.
I'm going Ravens -9 over the Raiders. That's one of my picks of the week, but wait for that for Joe with the money because I'll give that to you then.
Ravens -9.
Yeah, Ravens -9. Remember we talked about Lamar Jackson week 2 after week 1? I'm going to follow that. Why is it almost double digits? Because they know the numbers. Plus, the Raiders, tough game last week. Now going on the road again? Back-to-back roadies? And you're going East Coast? Give me the Ravens. The Rams are 1-point underdogs to the Cardinals. The Rams are 1-point underdogs. Did you know Matt Stafford's 5-8 against the spread in weeks 1 and 2? Not good. The other thing is McVay versus divisional opponents. He's 12-2-1 against the Cardinals. I don't care about this spread. I'm not biting the cheese on it. Give me the Rams to win this game. You know what else I like? Bengals to cover the 6 points against the Chiefs. Happens every year. The Bengals play the Chiefs so tough and cover every time. Now it's a week 1 overreaction. Give me the Bengals here. I don't know who to take in Broncos Steelers, guys. I got nothing for you there. Unless you got something.
It sounded like Dan was pretty high on the Broncos.
He loves the Broncos. You know why? Pittsburgh, underdogs 1 week, favorites the next on the road in the tough atmosphere in Denver. Not to mention Denver's rookie quarterbacks at home against who? Justin Fields. And Bears, Texans, I think the Texans roll. I think they destroy Caleb Williams this week. Finally, Eagles, Falcons. How do you fade Jalen Hurts at home? Plus, that defense versus Kirk Cousins. Cousins did not look right. And it's more about the surgery, right? It's not about his arm strength. He couldn't move. So that's what we got. Take one more. Gabe's in West Roxbury. Hi, Gabe.
Hey, Joe. How's it going?
Good, man. How you doing?
I just wanted to give a couple of butts real quick. For football, I actually love Kansas City, the Eagles, and the Cowboys, and the Patriots game under. But for UFC, Shevchenko, she is plus money at plus 120. It's a trilogy fight. The 2 fights before, she pretty much, out of the 9 rounds, she won, I think, let's say 7 or 8 of them. Last fight was controversial, ended in a draw. First fight, she got choked out, obviously, in the 5th round, but she was winning that fight. She's plus money. She is one of the best ever. When you see a female talent like her that isn't past her prime, isn't, not old or anything, you take that money. Sugar Sean, if he's going to win tomorrow night, it's going to be by knockout. They got to watch the wrestling. Marab's going to try to wrestle him. Sugar Sean's got to watch out for, when he goes to the strike, Marab's going to try to, shoot for the takedown. So it's going to be interesting. And remember, like I told you, it's, it's Mexican Day, Heritage Day at the Sphere.
Yes, yeah, we mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to have 10 fights, okay? And then in between each fight is going to be about a 60-second to 90-second, huge clip of, just the UFC and how it's evolved over time throughout the years, and it's supposed to be something you've never seen before. Okay. So,
Hey, real quick, no Conor McGregor. You hear that?
Well, no, he just posted that he got he's back on. He is getting tested for. He's getting tested by people who the real testers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not on anything, but him and Michael Chandler have been just going. They did the Tough Enough show, and they were supposed to fight, and that was 2.5 years ago.
I just saw
no one really cares anymore.
Gabe, I'm sorry I'm up against it, but I don't know about Conor McGregor's future, and he's got to get testing now. I don't know where it's going to go. I know people want to talk about the NFL games There was an announcement today at the Sports Hub as well. We'll have that for you coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Patriots and Seahawks. They square off this Sunday. The injury report has Kenneth Walker doubtful for the Patriots, City so, but also Kyle Duggar is on that list as
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Here's an outlet pass for Hall. Hall trying to get to the breakaway. Scores! Taylor Hall flips it over the shoulder. Bergeron back to Marchand. Long shot. Rebound. Score! Jake DeBrusk right on top of the loose puck in front. And Marchand gives a little shrug of the shoulders.
Carey Price has a hold of Tampa. Here comes Tim Thomas, the length of the ice. He's taking his mask off. Thomas taking his mask off. And they're going to square off out near the blue line.
Now here's that Hall scored.
Hyatt throws a right, Campbell a left. Lands a couple uppercuts, and he's hammering away. Boychuk hammering away on spot check near circle. Uppercut after uppercut by Boychuk. Spacek helpless here as Boychuk finally takes him down.
Smith beats out an icing, a one-timer score. The rebound to Trent Frederick.
There it is. The Boston Bruins at 98.5 The Sports Hub have found their man. It is Ryan Johnston, who has paid his dues, and nobody deserves this more than him. He's worked in the business for years, came over here years ago to cover the Lowell Devils, I believe at the time, and he's worked here obviously for, 15 years or so, and I think he's the right guy and was the right guy for the job. And now we have another colleague here at Nights, guys. So we'll be working Bruins games this year. As somebody that worked here for a very long time and, wanted a full-time job at the station, I'm very happy for Ryan Johnston. I always wanted to be full-time, always wanted to work on a show or have my own show, and here I am. And there's been a lot of changes within the company here, but I think a lot of the moves that they've made have, Skaz, you included, sir. This is the right guy for the job, passionate about the game, knows the game. Does the hockey show every single week, and now we'll go on the road with Bob Beers and work the games here. And you heard some of his fill-in work in the past. A lot of the fill-in work he did were some of the biggest moments. Tim Thomas, Carey Price squaring up. That's a big one. Nobody deserves it more than Ryan Johnston. Congratulations.
Absolutely. I'm a big RJ fan. Worked with him a handful of times, filling in mornings or, a couple afternoon Johnson and Flynn's back in the day. So, yeah, super happy for Ryan. Looking forward to working with him this year. It's, Bruins, I think we're going to be in for a little bit of a surprise here, a little bit of a bounce back year after, I wouldn't call last year a disappointment, maybe the way it finished, but yeah, just super happy for Ryan, really good guy, deserves it. He's just a really, really good play-by-play guy, and I'm excited to have him doing this now. He's earned it, and looking forward to it.
Philly guy in Boston, huh?
I know, that's the one bad thing about Ryan, he's an Eagles fan.
The Eagles. But no, I was going to say is, I think he'll be unbiased.
Oh, without a doubt.
I don't think you're going to get the homer to take. I don't think you will. I don't think you did with Judd either, for that matter.
Certainly not getting it with Bob. Bob's not afraid. That's why we love him.
Real quick, let's wrap up a couple of these. Vaskins in Waltham. Hey, Vaskin.
Joe, how are you?
How you doing?
You do a great job. We met a few months ago. I was in the studio with Maz.
Oh, yes. Yes, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. What do you got? You got a parlay?
I got a parlay. I'm not a big parlay guy. My son loves parlays. I want to run this by you. I kind of like this one. Amon-Ra, anytime touchdown.
Okay.
Ramondre, anytime touchdown. Bijan, anytime touchdown. And C.J. Stroud, who's way overdue to have a big day, over 1.5 passing touchdowns. What do you think?
I would bet them all individually, not parlay.
Really?
Yeah, just too many things have to happen for all things to
Yeah, exactly.
But if you imagine if you just put $10 on all of them.
Yeah.
You could you could win 2 and lose 2 and still make money.
Probably a better deal.
Thanks, Vaskin. Matt is in Burlington. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Mark, what's up, bud? Hey, huge congrats to Ryan Johnson and Judd Surratt. It's awesome that they both got promotions.
Yep.
And so I have a quick question for you about my bets on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little torn right now. I got the Rams money line, and then I have Kyron Williams over 73.5 yards. What do you think?
I don't know. Skaz, you got anything on that one?
I like the Rams in the game, but I'm not a players prop guy, really. It's just too volatile.
I like it when I can focus on one game. Like last night, James Cook, anytime touchdown. I wish I could have bet. I wish they paid me 3 times for that. We got the musings on the other side, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
peaceinstitute.org.
Felger and Maz are just his pregame.
They've been getting wholesale deals for years.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hall.
Unrelated to sports, so sit back, relax, and get your mind in the game and listen to the words of a grown man complaining.
All right, Murray's Musings, September 13th, a Friday. Friday the 13th. I got a couple of things I wanted to get out of the way here. Number one, I did a little bit of a card show today, Skaz. I hung out with our buddies over at Card Vault down at the Garden and live streamed on Fanatics Live and opened up some new boxes. Some of these boxes have like Jim Brown autographs, John Madden autographs. Like, they're called Motif. They just came out from Topps out close to the city. And then I wanted to use a ride share service to get to the Garden. I'm wondering if one ride share is adding a little bit more money to help the drivers, maybe? But that
Friday the 13th.
There you go.
Yeah, I guess if you want to squeeze
a Friday the 13th Halloween party in September, out. So what, you're gonna get dressed up on September 13th, and then what? October 31st, pull it out. You're gonna lose the glove or the hat. You're gonna be going in the Five Below or Savers or somewhere to go get what you need. Then you're gonna get in an argument because you don't have your helmet, your costume. And then the other thing is, matching costumes on Halloween. Oh yeah. What would your matching costume be, guys, this year?
Oof, this year? I'm trying to think of something that's like would be a popular costume. I'm sure we'll get some Hawk Tuah girl costumes this year. I'm not a costume guy, really.
Oh, I love costumes. Last year we were Run DMC.
Yes, we were. I forgot about that. I like minimal effort costumes. So like a good costume, but not a lot of work.
Just a mask, maybe, or
like
the Scream mask.
In college, I would do Jim from the Office, where not dress as Jim from the Office, but for the office Halloween party, you just get a name tag, put Dave on there. People ask, "Who are you?" You're Dave.
Dave.
That's it.
How are you?
That's my kind of costume.
I want to have a party where everybody has a name tag, but uses their AOL screen name, like Cutie Baby 69.
I think mine was like Skaz, just literally Skaz or something.
Just SCAZ.
Yeah, it might have been like 54, little Teddy Bruschi in there or something. But yeah,
I was SoCo Joe.
SoCo Joe,
because I loved Southern Comfort at the time. Used to just drink that with lime juice, straight and ice, baby.
Can't do that anymore.
Probably where the acid reflux came from, huh? I was upset. I wanted to sniff out the situation. By the way, what do you think about a 6'2", 285-pound quarterback in high school?
I was in on this, Joe. I was watching the highlight tape. We put this in Slack earlier. Love it.
Well, did you know that I think Vince Wilfork played a little quarterback? Do you know that Jermaine Wiggins, our buddy, was a quarterback in high school and then converted to the for me, guys?
Comedian.
Like their outfield was Paul O'Neill and Bernie Williams. With Jeff coverage for your auto, home, and business, ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray, and let's talk sports.
Let's talk turkey, shall we?
Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, in the sports industry, that's what you say.
Got your talking head right here, buddy.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub, I'm Joe Murray. One in extra innings, and the other in the bottom of the seventh inning because you don't know how to manage a bullpen. Where he communicates with the Latin players. Like, I'm reaching.
He's a player's coach, but okay.
What does he do?
Jarren Duran's having a good year. Congrats. It's, 1.5 in a row. The people that think Jarren Duran is now like some future cornerstone, he's 28 years old and he's been good for a year and a half. I think there's a disconnect there.
All right. Well, you can react to that if you want. We got Joe Me the Money, 10:35. I get your picks. And I'm going to do a combo Celtics conversation. A little bit of Patriots here with a little bit of Maywatch. I'm going to start with some Maywatch, and we'll get into the Celtics, and then we'll do Joe Me the Money, and then we'll give our Seattle Patriots predictions as we wrap up the show here. We're here till 11 o'clock. He's Skaz. I'm Joe, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
If you need tires, think Town Fair Tire. Thinking name brands? We have them all. Thinking price? We beat.
You open an arena, Amazon Arena, you now get all the concessions, all the ticket sales. You're now the landlord for other people that want to be there. They're not going to sell for $6 billion. They're not, because they're not profitable. NBA and they do. They think they can get $6 billion. The New York Post reporting 5. Investors don't buy things when they're at their highest worth. And right now, the Celtics, although champions and although with an albatross ahead, not profitable. Not profitable. And why? Wick spent daddy's money. And now daddy looks at it as a loss. And looks at that $5 billion they could possibly make after spending how much? $360? Doesn't look like they're going to have a great holiday season over there. Could this break up Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum's guess? Because everyone else is trying to do it.
I think it's a little early for that, but that's definitely the fear, right? Get one of these contracts off the books. I'd like to think that they're together for the next 2 to 3 years, no matter what. But
Brown would be the first one.
Yeah, 100%.
Because of the Supermax, now Tatum won't be able to be traded until...
Tatum's also the better player, so you hold on to him.
True. Yep,
He's younger.
Yep.
As a green teamer, Joe, because that's what we are here. It depends on who you ask. That is certainly the fear that this means, you won't be the Golden State Warriors and have your little dynasty. And, something that's talked about is how hard it is to have a dynasty in the NBA because of these luxury tax rules. And it's something that, a team hasn't really, I guess the Nuggets lost some pieces, but it's the Celtics are in a unique position where they have a loaded roster. They paid everybody, and a new ownership group is gonna come in and decide, how badly do we want to win and how badly do we want to make money. As a Celtics fan, you hope they put winning above all else, but you look around the league, not just the NBA, but sports in general, it's not really about winning.
Can I just tell you that that's what Wick wants you to believe?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a fan.
Can I tell you, I'm not upset with him. I'm not upset with him. He wanted to win. He did whatever he could. Spent daddy's money. They won a championship, guys. I'm not upset with him, but where it goes, that's when we can look back and be like, dude. But I don't think they would have won a championship. I think that's the way you have to look at it, right? You'll take the championship every single time, right? Every time.
Is winning a championship worth your team being sold?
Does this give them more motivation to go back-to-back and then potentially three-peat? Could this prohibit that?
I almost hope they don't think about it at all. It shouldn't factor in.
I hope so.
Yeah,
But can we do shows every night thinking about that? We're motivated by it now,
Does it affect Brad Stevens? The contracts he hands out.
Does he want to now go to Indiana and not deal with this?
Is he going to be told the checkbook's closed, no more blank checks?
Yeah,
you got to start.
Hey man, we got to lose $50 million off this team. You got to do it by the trade deadline. What? They have people they can move though, don't you think? At least it's easier to. The thing is, you can't match the salary. It's gonna be, dude. It's gonna math. I hope he knows math because I don't. Do you think Brad Stevens took the job because of math? No.
But just on the Brad Stevens thing, we think he's an unbelievable GM. He's very happy here. They won a title. But don't you think a lot of that has to do with the freedom he had, the money he had to spend, the ability to basically have autonomy to sign whoever he wanted to whatever number they wanted? I think that job, unfortunately, becomes a lot less desirable when the handcuffs are put on, when you don't know, if all the checks are going to clear, basically. So, right behind Tatum and Brown, keeping Brad Stevens should be something that's very important to whoever the next owner is. And That's just something else you got to worry about now, and that's the unfortunate part of this is you win the title, you want to celebrate everything, but the reality of this is it's a business, you know.
And Joe Mazzulla's looking at this thing as, who cares? Let's win.
Exactly, and that's why he's our psychopath. That's why we love him. And, he controls that room, keep everybody focused. But, yeah, just another wrinkle that Brad Stevens' job just got a lot harder.
Do you know whose life got a lot easier because of this?
Irv Grossbeck's?
Robert Kraft. I just look at it as this is going to take the heat off of some of the other owners in town.
Well, don't you think Wick almost, tried to be Robert Kraft in a way where, I'm from here, I'm a fan, I sat in the stands.
But he spent.
And Robert Kraft, it was actually his money, though. That's the difference.
That's
Robert
the
Kraft
big difference.
Talked the talk, and it was his paycheck that was backing up that talk. With Wick, it was, I love Wick. He was a tremendous owner, but he just wasn't really the owner, is what we've come to learn.
We'll leave it there. People are going to talk about this one. I'm actually interested to hear Chris Gasper and Big Jim tomorrow. Even Leroy with Cerrone. I'm excited. Maybe Lifshats has a take early in the morning. A little wake and take with Lifshats and Kendra. That's who's on this weekend. You know what we got coming up next, those guys? Joe, me, the money. Already up big one tonight. Let's see what we got tomorrow coming up after the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Red Sox lost 5-4 tonight on a Aaron Judge grand slam in the bottom of the 7th inning. That was it. They got a great start from Dick Fitz, who has not given up a run since joining the Red Sox. Back-to-back nights. Criswell, Fitz, no runs, 2 losses.
goodwill.org and become a job creator. That's goodwill.org. Zolak and Bertrand get you through the midday. Joe Murray gets you right through the night.
I actually spoke with women today.
On the Sports Hub.
For you. It's a very personal, very important thing. Hell, it's a family motto. Are you ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Here it is. Show me the money.
Spot for a Glock. I took a long overflow, but still got a knock.
Money! Jerry, does that make you feel good just to say that? Say it with me one time, Jerry.
Show you the money.
Oh, no, you can do better than that, Jerry. I want you to say it what you would mean it, brother. Hey, I got Bob Sugar on the other line. I better hear you say it.
Yeah, no. Show you the money.
Not show you. Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Yeah. Louder.
Show me the money.
That's it, brother, but you got to yell at me.
Show me the money.
I need to feel you, Jerry.
Show me the money.
Jerry, you better yell. Show me the money. Here comes the...
All right, show me the money. Got some weekend picks for you. I got 4 this weekend. Starting in college football. You watched Notre Dame last week, and you watched them lose. Now they go to Purdue. I will tell you all very much. Don't. Take Notre Dame minus the 9. Riley Leonard's status is questionable. Doesn't matter. Give me the Irish on the road to bounce back after the loss last week. Even if it's double digits, ring the bell. Give me Notre Dame. Bing, bang, boom. Also, a team that I'm just going to bet until they don't cover. It's Ole Miss. They'll score 73. They'll score 70. And this week, they go to Wake Forest in SEC versus ACC situations, guys. I don't love road chalk. I just did it with Notre Dame. I'm going to do it again with Ole Miss. Again, they don't care about anybody. They need to be ready to run up scores. They got a great quarterback. Their coach obviously doesn't care. Give me Ole Miss to cover the minus 23 this week. Ring the bell. On to the NFL. Love overreactions from week 1 when it comes to week 2. Why are the Chiefs only 5-point favorites? Why are the Chiefs 5-point favorites with having 11 days off? Why are the Bengals? Why do they even have a chance? Why? Because they have great numbers against the Chiefs. Why? Because the number 5. Why? The Bengals bounce back, cover the 5 points against the Chiefs. I'll even take it at 4.5 if I have to. Give me the Bengals to cover the spread this week. Ring the bell. And finally, we have told you this number for a while now, but the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. Lamar doesn't practice in the preseason. He always struggles in week 1, but he has incredible numbers in week 2. And who do they play this week, the Baltimore Ravens? They take on the Raiders, who lost last week to the Chargers, and have back-to-back road games and go West Coast to East Coast. The spread is 9. That's a very high spread in the NFL. Generally, teams 7 points or over cover in this spot. The spread's 9 for a reason. Give me the Raiders the Raiders to get rolled on by the Ravens. Ravens minus 9. Ring the bell. That's all we got there. I got to take this call because I'm interested. Hank is in Hawaii. Aloha, Hank.
Aloha. How are you doing, Joe? Happy Aloha Friday.
Nice. Where are you on the island? Which one?
I'm on Oahu, up in Manoa at the Manoa Innovation Center, right near UH campus, University of Hawaii.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I was there. I went to the arena. My wife right now is in Haleiwa right now, getting Jenny's shrimp on the North Shore right now.
Excellent. I wish I was on the North Shore versus at work, but I got to get out to go pick up my kid pretty soon. But I just wanted to check in and say I would sometimes get a little frustrated when people mention about Kraft, and but I always like to remind people, he kind of made his money the old-fashioned way. He married it. It was Myra's money, but Although, the money came from, from her family, I do give them credit for, I remember back in the day, that whole thing with the racetrack and the parking lots and how we, boxed in the guys to get, the team. And I thought that was some pretty good business moves. Got to give them credit there.
Absolutely. No doubt about it, man.
Where would you put the new arena? Like Everett, Revere, Seaport, what do you think? If they were to have someone buy the Celtics and want to put their own arena up, what do you think was a good spot?
And appreciate the call, Hank. Mahalo. I would put it in the Seaport personally, but Everett, the casino, an arena. The other thing, I don't think it can go to Revere. I just don't think it would be easy in and out. This is a show for another day. But one of those spots. But I hope it's not in, like, New Hampshire or Methuen or, like, something like that, because that could happen, too. Maybe they can go no tax in New Hampshire. Tax-free. Wouldn't that be worth the ride? The
Foxborough?
New Hampshire Celtics? Out. Out.
Yeah, we got room at the dog track.
That's true. Rainham.
Go put it down there.
Remember, there was supposed to be a Caesars up there.
Yeah, why not?
There's 2 highways. There's the MBTA. All right, we'll give our predictions, guys. We'll do that next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Seahawks.org.
Around here, we call them the Joe Murray Pre-Party. It's Felger and Maz afternoons right now. Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
Final segment here, 98.5, the Sport Hub. I'm going Seahawks -3 on Sunday versus the Patriots. I got it under my 3.5. The original opener was 2.5. I'm sure once the Kenneth Walker news officially comes out, it will go down to 2.5. Therefore, I think the Patriots lost their value. So I'm going -3 Patriots this weekend. But every game has come down to the final play. What makes this year any different? Got anything, Skaz, before we go? Any prediction from you, sir?
2017 Patriots.
Oh, I got to give a score, huh?
They're going to score 20. What's the Patriots team total? Any idea?
I looked. I can't find it because I think the injuries have kept it out. I think the play action opens up a little bit. Seahawks win 24-21. Ooh, I got to cover. 24-20. 24-20, Skaz. The over-under is 38, so therefore I will take the over this weekend. Even though Doug Kyed said 17-14 earlier today. Jeez. I'm going over. Who cares? Pats are going to play action fake. You're going to see Malcolm Butler ring the bell. You can ring my bell. By the way, did you hear the shade from the last caller that mentioned that all of Kraft's money came from Myra? I didn't respond to it, but wow, way to end the week with that one, huh? That one will air fry. I'm going to just put that in the air fryer and just worry about that one on Monday. All right, Skaz, we're done.
And we're right back at it next week, Joe. Quick turnaround.
Yeah, to set up the week real quick. Monday we'll react. Tuesday we'll do a ton of breakdowns because Wednesday night we have a Revs game. And then the Patriots, we don't have a show on Thursday. React on Friday. Good week.
2 games in just a couple days. Let's see how Gerard Mayo looks on a short week.
3 games in 11 days. The Patriots got it right with Brissett no matter how it looks this weekend. All right, we got to go, everybody. Thank you all for joining us this week. We're